What's up, everyone? Welcome back to Pirate Pals. I'm Mike. This is Cole.
And welcome back. It's been a long time, and just want to say happy Merry Christmas and happy holidays.
Hope everyone's holidays was good. Wish everybody a happy New Year, or great 2020.
Great.
Same for the Pirates, right?
Let's hope. So we got some new gear. I don't know if you noticed.
Yeah.
And also,
Thanks, Mom.
And
I treated myself to a little something for Christmas. I got myself this nice Roberto Clemente 3000 hit with the autographed scorecard. Yes.
And so
A little treat for myself.
Yeah. So besides that, the organization has gone through some changes, and it's
been a clean sweep, pretty much.
Definitely been a clean sweep for most of the time. So let's start off by saying Hurdle was released in the last game of 2019.
We talked about that in our last upload segment. So
he did not even show up for that last game. That's a bummer. But now our president will be Travis Williams, named I believe October 28th, and he replaced Bob Nunley after 12 years.
And then on November 18th, the Pirates hired Ben Cherington as their general manager, replacing Neil Huntington also after 12 years. So, Nutting and Huntington came in together, and now Williams and Cherington are going to come in together.
So Derek Shelton was named manager. He's 49 right now, and he was named, I believe,
December 4th.
December 4th.
So those are the three big changes that are going to affect the Pirates, obviously in this season coming up. But it was a clean sweep for the most part. 39-year-old Don Kelly was named the bench coach. He replaced Jeff Bannister. Don Kelly is a former Pittsburgh Pirate, Pittsburgh native, so I think that's a pretty good hire.
And then Oscar Martin was named pitching coach. Replaced Uncle Ray Searage. That's
Uncle Ray was our guru, our pitching coach for so many years, and Oscar Marin. I mean, he had no pitching. He has no pitching experience, and a 37-year-old coming in. Oscar Marin he's got his hands full. This pitching staff right now is it's got its challenges. So it's going to be interesting to see bringing in this a lot of young blood and see what happens. 39-year-old Justin Mirage. He was promoted to the bullpen coach. He worked he was assistant coach pitching coach under Uncle Ray. He replaces Euclides Rojas. So the whole pitching staff has changed.
And Derek Brock was named first base coach to replace I forget what his name was.
Kamara Barti.
Tarek
Brock. And he's only 45 years old too. So those are the big changes. And there was only really two coaches that managed to stay on. They actually, I think, one started last year. Joey Cora, though, I think he was named the third base coach last year. So he's been in the organization for a while, but he stays at the third base coach, and then Rick Eckstein, who done a great job with some of the young players last year, is going to remain as the hitting coach.
He's basically the only coach that I said did pretty well last season.
Without a doubt. So let's talk real briefly about the big guys, Williams and Cherington and Shelton. Real quick, what do we know about them? I was fortunate enough to go to a meet and greet with longtime subscriber Steve McDonald, and we found out, Travis Williams, he was the chief operating officer for the Pittsburgh Penguins for many years, so he has Pittsburgh roots and Pittsburgh connections. He's going to be kind of like running the business side of things for the Pirates, and what I got from the meet and greet was, his focus was primarily to improve the fan experience at PNC Park. When we had the meet and greet, to be honest with you, Ben Cherington was asked, the most questions. So there wasn't a lot of insight from Williams, but the impact on the team is mostly going to come from Cherington. So he's another young guy too. Only 45 years old.
He is former GM for, I believe, the Red Sox. He was there for the 2013 World Series for the Red Sox, and he basically set up the core for the Red Sox. I think
2018.
2018,
Yeah.
yeah.
I mean, he took the team that was, you know, in last place in 2012 and, you know, made the changes that were necessary to get around a lot of salary and brought him some, you know, a core group of players that, you know, in 1 year went from last to first. So that's pretty impressive. So he has a good track record. What I got from the meet and greet from him was there was going to be a focus on, I think he wants to keep a, you know, a core group of players that we have. There's some potential. Obviously, we saw that last year. But I think there's going to be a focus. There's the long-term goals. We're going to be developing, you know, drafting and developing players better, and you know, building up the farm system. And definitely, what I got from him, he's an analytics guy. So I think you're going to see, you know, a lot more. There's a lot more, you know, sabermetrics analytics in baseball right now. And I think he's probably going to utilize a lot of that, and it's going to be interesting to see how that kind of plays out too. So.
Gotten a chance to meet, in particular, these two gentlemen. The first, of course, is back home as the new president. You know, spent a lot of years in Pittsburgh, over at Reed Smith for a while, and then over a decade with the Pittsburgh Penguins, helped bring 3 Stanley Cup championships to the Pens. He's thrilled to be back home, and we're thrilled to have him as the new president of the Pirates. Travis Williams. And our new general manager helped put about 3 World Series titles together for the Boston Red Sox. A lot of years with Boston. Went on to become a vice president with the Toronto Blue Jays. And we'll get into some specifics with him. But as I've said too, imagine this guy had opportunities, many of them, to go on to other organizations. And how pleased we are to have him now leading the way as the general manager of the Pirates, Ben Cherington.
The new coach, Derek Shelton, you know, the new manager.
He was the hitting coach for the Cleveland Indians from 2005 to 2009. He was the Tampa Bay Rays coach, I believe.
Hitting coach, yeah.
Hitting coach for 2010 to 2016. He's been in the Minnesota Twins bench.
Yeah, he was the bench coach. For last 2 years. I mean, he's kind of worked his way up. The fact that he's been a hitting coach for so long, I think that definitely is going to help the Pirates. You know, and another thing is funny though. He's a manager of a professional baseball team that never actually played in the majors. I mean, he played in the minors, I think in the Yankees organization, but he was a catcher. I think he got injured or something like that. So never actually made it to the bigs, but he's in the bigs as the Pirates manager. So should be interesting to see how things go. There were no big moves, acquisitions during the winter meetings, but this past week was big because the Pirates had 8 arbitration eligible players, and remarkably, they signed them all. I mean, we had Eric Gonzalez. He was signed earlier, but then, you know.
Josh Bell.
That was the big one.
It was $4.8 million.
Which kind of surprised me that they got him for that. It almost seems like a bargain. I mean, he was only making, you know, $500-some thousand the past couple of years, but, you know, if he goes to arbitration, he doesn't agree to that. You would think he'd $5.5, $6 million maybe. I don't know. So I think that's a good sign that he wants to stick around.
So Keanu Kella, he got signed for around $3.7 million. Trevor Williams, he got signed for $2.8. Adam Frazier, $2.8. Joe Musgrove, $2.8. Jameson Tyon, he's just gonna sit around and chill, but we picked him up for $2.25 million, and he's just gonna sit along with the pitching players and just chill out.
He's gonna
get
got
paid.
the Tommy John surgery. He's gonna be off all next year. But you know, we want him on the team, so you know, he's definitely pedigreed, and he was a first-round pick. First overall, maybe second, I forget. But, you know, if that goes to arbitration, he's probably going to get more than that. So I think that's a team-friendly deal, too.
So Michael Feliz, he's got signed for 1.1. And Chad Cole, I think he get a Tommy John surgery?
Yeah, he was off last year. And he didn't even play last year. So he actually got a raise. He's going to make $840,000 this year. So it's going to be interesting to see how that kind of plays out because, you know, he has potential to be a starter if not, bullpen guy, and they're only paying $840,000. So amazingly, we signed all the core players from last year. I mean, I think you got a bargain with Musgrove, a bargain with, even Adam Frazier, because I think Adam Frazier still is going to be a really great player. And then what you might have, though, is you sign these players to these good contracts, and then possibly something Ben Cherington's very good at is trading. Further down, this upcoming year, that's what we might see. Some of these players that we just signed being traded. So there you go. I mean, that's kind of what's been happening. What we're going to do now is probably at the end of February once again. We're going to take a little road trip to spring training
Get some video montage. We'll try to do the same thing as last year. That was pretty fun.
Yeah, it was
actually
a lot of
really fun.
So we're going to go down for 5 days, and looking forward to that. Me and my best friend here.
Oh, best friend.
Yeah. And then we'll come back at you right before the season starts, and we'll give you our predictions, and then our, position by position analysis. We'll see where the Pirates are at, see what the starting lineup's going to be. So it's going to be interesting. Yeah, there's, the pitching I think is going to need a lot of help, but hey, you never know. We have some bright spots from last year, so fingers crossed, and
hopefully we can just get going on the right track. Like that, we're trying to move past last season.
We got a lot of new faces, a lot of new coaches, so hopefully it's at the very least something to build on and see something positive, like the team heading in the right direction. Because I think there was the culture. I think is something else they talked about at the meet and greet that needed to change too. And I think that's
our chemistry was not good last year, especially all the fights and arguments
within the clubhouse itself. So
that's gotta stop.
You can't have that. Yep. All right, so anyways, you know what to do.
Okay, this has been a long time. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe on all of our videos. Just check out all of our videos down below. And hopefully this can change. And let's say it.
1, 2, 3,
let's go
box!